Once you've registered for the meeting using the link provided in the weekly updates, you'll receive an automated confirmation email that looks like this. When it's time for the meeting, click Join Webinar. A new tab will open with the GoToWebinar opener. Follow the steps provided on that page to launch the webinar software. It will be just one click away if you've already used GoToWebinar or GoToMeeting before. Otherwise, you might have to install the software, which should only take a minute or two. The webinar window will launch, as well as a control panel. All attendees will be muted unless TAGD staff unmutes you. Your camera will not be shown at any time. First, check your audio settings. If you're using a computer with speakers and microphone capabilities, you can use computer audio and no further action is needed. If your computer does not have speakers or a microphone, you'll want to join by phone. Click Phone Call in your control panel and dial the given phone number, enter the access code, and the audio PIN. I'll click back to computer audio since that's what most meeting attendees will be using.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Now let's go over the screen and control panel. Over here in this window is where the meeting materials, presentation slides, and speakers' faces will be shown. You can change the size of it to fit your needs, make it full screen, or minimize it. This over here on the right is the control panel. This is where you found your audio settings and can return to those at any time. You'll also see tabs for attendees, handouts, and questions. Click on the Attendees tab to see the other participants that have joined the meeting. The Handouts tab will have links to meeting documents like the agenda and financial statements. You can expand this tab or minimize it and click on the handouts at any time. The Questions tab is where you'll see an initial meeting announcement with a link to the meeting materials. If we click on this link, we'll be directed to the TAGD website where you can find all of the meeting materials. If you're the person that will be voting on behalf of your member district, please follow the link to the sign-in page for our virtual roll call. You can see that link here. Only complete this form when designated. We will not be doing a verbal roll call, and again, only complete this survey if you are the designated person who will be submitting votes on behalf of your district, and only do it once at the designated time. We can go back to the control panel right here, bring back our main window. A little bit more about the control panel. The control panel can be minimized by clicking on the orange arrow right here. To make it bigger, you just click the orange arrow again. And you can move this around wherever it will work best for you. Whether the control panel is minimized or expanded, there are shortcut buttons here to show if you are muted or unmuted, as you can see by the microphone right here. You can extend to full screen, and you also have this button to raise or lower your hand. We'll talk more about that feature in a little bit. As we move through the agenda, there will be a need to vote on a few items. Here's how we'll accomplish this. After an agenda item is presented, the board president will ask if anyone would like to make a motion. Click the hand raise button right here if you would like to make a motion. A TAGD staff member running the meeting will select the first hand they see raised. This attendee will be unmuted and allowed to address all other attendees to verbally make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
TAGD staff will lower all of the raised hands and the president will ask for a second. If you wish to second the motion, please click the raise hand button to raise your hand. One person will again be taken off of mute to verbally state their second for the motion.
I second that motion.
The president will ask if there are any questions or comments. Anyone wishing to make a substantial comment for discussion is invited to use the hand raise feature and wait to be called on by the president. For a simple question like clarification of a number or restating of the motion, please utilize the question function. This is also available for anyone wishing to make a comment or question that does not have a working microphone. To ask a question, expand the Questions tab of your control panel and type in your question. Click Send or hit Enter to submit your question. Questions go directly to TAGD staff, who will then address the question as an announcement that everyone can see in the Questions tab, or will forward it on to the speaker to address verbally. Please note that this is not a chat function and that any question submitted will only be seen by TAGD staff. Once all questions have been addressed and the item discussion is over, we will utilize the polling function to take a vote. It is important that only one person per district votes, so make sure that if you'll have several board or staff members in attendance, everyone knows who the designated voting representative is. When a poll is launched, it will pop up on your screen. We'll leave it open for a couple of minutes to allow all voting district representatives the chance to vote. Select an option and click Submit to submit your vote. Results will be recorded and can be immediately shared with the attendees. After tagged business is complete, we'll have a few brief agency updates. If you have any questions for these speakers, please type them out in the Questions tab and they will be forwarded on to the speaker. For GMA reports, member updates, and other business, please use the hand raise button if you'd like to address the membership. You'll be called on and unmuted to speak to everyone. Thank you for bearing with us as we navigate these new circumstances. TAGD is hopeful that this virtual meeting, while unconventional, will still be productive and beneficial. If you have any other technical questions about participating in the TAGD virtual business meeting, you can contact Julia Stanford by calling 512-596-3101 or emailing julia@texasgroundwater.org.